Yo! What's up, everybody? This is not a replay, by the way. It's your boy CLT again with a quick turnaround for another series here as we have a matchup in Group A between Vancouver Impact Challengers and Kappachungus Deluxe, our GOATs, Rec League champions of the 2025 split here, getting represented. So, yeah, I just got done doing Ninja Turtles free to play. Very exciting series. Ninja Turtles did end up pulling that one out, but I highly suggest you guys go watch it. It was a pretty banger if you like fighting. So, Kappachungus here, starting off with a loss against what I would consider the group favorites in Coin Flip. But the thing that impressed me the most is their early game. They held up quite well against Coin Flip and was in some pretty game-winning states here. So I want to see if they kind of reviewed and went back and looked at that series and seen what they could take from Vancouver. Also, now 2 series in. They are 0-2 to start this split here. So one of these teams is going to get their first win this week here, but we will see. For Kappachungus, though, we do have Foe 88 in the jungle, so he has returned to the starting lineup here. Golden Sunset top lane, Joker and Campbell in the bot lane, Pilk at mid. So that is what we got. Vancouver also kind of getting used to their new lineup. Pixel, formerly Pixelated Pizza, in the jungle. Marshall moved to support here. Everybody else is in the same lineup here. So, yeah, that is where we are at. For those kind of joining us across the whole Midwest landscape, you do have our Pies, the GOAT, back in action on his personal channel, doing a series, Instinct versus Sombrero, which is going pretty shockingly from what I've heard. I won't spoil it, but if you got a second monitor, go ahead and check that one out. And the GOAT, the other GOAT himself, fresh off of playing a series earlier today, Mr. Hairwick, will be on the Midwest Twitch channel with another banger matchup. So yes, for those here, all 5 series getting casted today. So big shout out to all the help we got here. So we made this miracle happen on a Saturday. So if college football was boring, we got you covered. So I'll go ahead and minimize this and kind of focus now on this pick ban phase. We see that the Cassante, Trundle, and Poppy getting taken away here. So some top and jungle flex picks getting taken out. AD's getting attacked as well in the Unara and the Sivir. And then now we're seeing a few mid lane bans coming out. And the Hui, Silas, and LeBlanc here. Let's see if mid lane still continues to get picked on by these two teams. So, and Vancouver getting rid of the Talon here. Okay, maybe they know something I don't. Maybe a faux Pilk special here. And the Karma getting taken away from Kappachungus. So, I like the Mordekaiser pick overall into the Scion. Mordekaiser's also very good into Zinzao Ashe. Ashe, though, in the late game can kite away quite well in the Mordekaiser ult. But we see a Yone getting hovered here for Stunner. So we'll see how this ends up going. Ooh, no, the last second pivot to Aurora. So we'll see. There is a lot of AP damage, especially from the top side of this map. Triple AP, counting Sejuani's percent health damage on her E. So overall, a very, very magic damage focused comp coming out of Vancouver here. Talia getting hovered here for Kappachungus. And then that does get locked in. So mid lane pool getting pinched a little bit, but Talia is still a very blindable, very consistent mid lane champ. Has a lot of wave clear and has some mobility around the map with the Weaver's Wall at level 6. But we'll see what Kappachungus wants to do here in their last pick. This is going to be for support, I would assume, for Campbell. So let's see what he picks here. And it will be the Nautilus coming out for Campbell. And the Braum getting picked up here. So a lot of stuff getting thrown at Kappachungus here if they make the first move in the Caitlyn, Aurora, Braum kind of combo here. Decent decent zone control coming out. Kappachungus, though, has a lot of playmaking tools around the map with the Ashe and the Talia roaming here. So, I do like both drafts for the most part. I think Vancouver reacted quite well to what Kappa wants, but Kappa has a clear game plan and understanding of how they want to play the game. And it's not the most difficult comp to execute here, so overall, I like it. I like it a lot here, so see how this one ends up going.
I assure you, I am quite patient.
It's just business.
Seems you left your brave pants at home. Want me to wait while you go get them?
Can't cage me for long.
I have more important matters to attend to.
Pathetic.
So yeah, just finishing up the pick ban phase here. In client, we'll move over to that. And the names do match the sides here, so. So overall, like I said, I like Kappa's comp. I think they're very proactive. They can make a lot of moves around the map and play these team fights very well. There's a clear way that they want to play this game. Vancouver's comp, while it's a touch sporadic, they do have some zone control and they do have quite a bit of CC and damage thrown over to the side of Kappa here, so I think this comp is, while a little more moderate on the difficulty scale, is just not bad. They have very strong laning phases, and I think if Kappa can hold it together during the laning phase, which is one of their strengths that we've seen in Week 1, I think they have a very, very good chance of putting up a very competitive fight and even taking games here. So, but both teams looking for their first win this split. So, while we are in spectator, I will be muted. Again, I just got done with a series, so gonna need to keep hydrated and probably get myself a touch of a snack. But we'll be back with you guys for Game 1 of Kappa versus Vancouver Impact.
Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
Oh, wait a sec. That's not allowed, guys. Yeah, you cannot lane swap in this league. Yeah, this is... I gotta get communication to these teams. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna mute the stream real quick and discuss it with the teams. Okay, now that we are back, so I am going to formally apologize to both teams if they do watch this back, and I do see we have a couple guys in chat. The rule was phrased in a way that wherever the AD carry went, the support had to go. With Riot changing the lane swaps throughout the last couple seasons, we felt the need to eliminate that rule. So that is 100% on me. I was under the context of the previous rule, but as you said in chat, that this is constantly done in pro play, though they kind of do it after 4 minutes, so not exact 1-to-1 in the pro play that I have seen. But regardless, that is 100% my fault as a mod. I should be up to date with all the rules. So I will take 100% onus onto that. The teams did pause, so I could look at it, and then they have unpaused. They are continuing the play. So that is 110% on me. I did not think about us changing the rules, because we typically don't change a lot of the rules. We just clarify them. And try to add some more context to them. So, again, 110% on me. I will take the full blame for that one. I just wanted to double check on that. We do see at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, the lane swap detection is no longer active, so they can bring the support and AD up into the top side here. So this is the first time we've actually seen a team do this, and in my opinion, do it pretty correctly. We did see First Blood coming out to Pilk and off a gank from foe here, burning stunners a flash. So I will continue casting this game, and like I said, I will formally apologize to both teams if they're reading this back, except this is my apology, but I will also definitely message both captains and on my accord and apologize for that. That was, I'm extremely for lack of better words, embarrassed. I didn't really take in consideration that we changed that rule. So that's that's on me. So back to the game. I'm done beating myself up over it, because trust me, I'll continue to do that all freaking night if I let myself do it. So looking at so far, again, First Blood goes over to Pilk. Dragon is and it looks like we actually, because we started it early, we don't need to catch up on the client side to the pause itself. So yep, everything is good. I'm so glad I didn't affect any game state. First Blood already happened, and there was no combat during the pause, so no harm, no foul on me, just double checking that. So yep, perfect. So Scion is going to be down a little bit of CS here, but does kind of pick it up. He's now grabbing the lane top wave here. So we just got through the early levels here for Scion. Pilk getting ganked here from Pixel. Pixel, though, missing the Q, but will end up getting the snare onto here. Stunner, though, missing a majority of his combo because Pilk flashed it and ulted away. So well played from Pilk there in the mid lane. So Golden Sunset again down on the CS department, but we did see plates go over to the 80 carries. So Dragon taken over here from foe with the bot lane zoning out. So Mountain Drake, which is a fantastic Drake for Kappachungus to have here, with the Aftershock Nautilus and Golden Bean on the Scion. Pilk, though, once again, getting ganked here from Pixel. And Stunner ends up picking that one up here in a very well-timed gank. So, 1-1 here, about just a little under a 1K gold lead. Campbell just getting pelted with autos and abilities from Chiros here. And Campbell will have to back. Yeah, he will end up taking him back here. Golden Sunset and Marco just trading warning shots here with the Qs.
Boom. Headshot.
Joker potentially getting jumped on here under turret. He ends up having to flash away though. And then we see an invade here in the jungle as Foe's trying to do his best here. Scion though coming off to the side ends up clipping the wall and missing Stunner. Marco, though, ends up getting the Feats of Warfare. Golden Sunset will fall, and we look like we see a little bit of a return dive coming out. And then up here in the top side of the map, 3 kills going over to Marco here from that invade here, and it looks like they will transition it over into the Void Grubs here. So, big sequence for Vancouver Impact. So that is going to be a massive swing, especially for the top side of the map, as he's already sitting on a full Rift Maker here. And they are roughly about 3K up on gold for the side of Vancouver. Red team will end up picking up all 3 Void Grubs here, secured by Pixel. So this is kind of a nightmare situation, especially for the top side of the map, as this Mordekaiser is going to be very, very hard to stop. And he's going to have 3 Grubs worth of split pushing here. And Campbell missing the wall there. Was rough. Joker trying to do his best and ends up getting clipped from Stunner here. So bot lane going very, very well for the side of Vancouver Impact. Pilk getting jumped on yet again as Stunner does return back to the lane. And Stunner will end up picking up one, but uses the between 2 worlds to end up getting out. Bot turret does fall to Chiros. Golden Sunset tanky enough to withstand Marco's punishment here, but he has not used ult yet. Still has him down to about half health. Problem is Marco with this Rift Maker is able to just sustain up a lot of this damage. So, this is now a very, very tough game state here for the side of Kappachungus, as now they are down about 5K gold. Campbell trying to put up a fight here for some vision, but ends up hooking the wall to get away here. Marshall and Shiros doing their best here. Campbell burning the ult here, hooking himself away. But Foe and Joker now playing the kite game here. Marshall taking quite a bit of damage. Joker does have the lethal tempo going. Campbell, though, shielding away. Nice hook overall, but here comes Pilk. And I think this Vancouver team ended up chasing a little bit too much here. Chiros, though, now with lethal tempo going, ends up flashing away. And it's now Chiros versus the world. And he ends up getting the last auto on the Pilk. And a double kill for Chiros, but now a shutdown going over the Joker here. So, well played from both sides in this bot lane team fight. 2 kills plus a shutdown now on Joker's Ashe here. Oh my lord, stunner. That's a lot of damage. Golden Sunset just diving in here. They are both on 1 items. They're actually, for the most part, tied in items. Though I do not have very high opinions on us Hollow Radiance. The fact that he does not have anti-healing, I think, means Mordekaiser just straight up wins the stat check. But I could be wrong. These 2 bruisers are just throwing their axes and clubs around. Oh, Pilk sidestepping this ult here. Foe going in. Pixel, though, getting knocked up here. And will end up getting taken out. Foe, though, looking to continue to go here. Gets the knock up. Marshall getting pulled around across the Talia wall. Stunner, though, doing his best. He ends up getting 1 in return. But that's a double kill over the Pilk here. And, I mean, we're within about 4K of this gold lead. So Kappachungus is not laying down here. Ion's now at this point where he can kind of brace for impact against this Mordekaiser here. Only down about 20 CS here. CS-wise, kind of, fairly even here. It's just the kill department. Both teams sitting on 1 dragon. Marshall kind of giving the what's up nod to Golden Sunset here. Foe, though, jumping on the Chiros. Joker, though, has the ult here. Chiros does not have cleanse and a shutdown going over the Joker here. Fight continuing with Campbell hooking up Marshall here. Joker still trying to fire away. Marshall burning the W Shield Guardian and the Locket of Iron Solari that he ends up picking up here. Stunner, though, left alone to free hit in this bot lane. Bot lane tier 2 does fall with Stunner hitting, but Marshall and Pixel are fairly low here. Joker is going to do his best to hit it. Campbell misses his... Oh, I'm sorry, bro, but... unsuccessfully hooks another wall. There, so... But there was quite a few ults used. Oh, I thought Marshall snagged that red buff, not gonna lie. But getting a good battle onto Vision here. Still about a 5.2k gold lead for the side of Vancouver Impact. We do have second item done on Stunner. So Pilk a little behind when it comes to the items. Joker, though, receiving these 2 shutdowns is almost even with Churros here. Churros, though, completing these 2 items. The IE is actually such a massive pick here. I see a Phage here for Marco, so maybe an experimental hex plate coming out potentially for this Mordekaiser, as they did give him some AD ratios on his Q. So he can build some AD items very successfully. Rift Herald is being staged bot lane, though bot lane turret is pretty healthy, so maybe they just felt that they had to use it here. They does get a charge off. Joker taking care of the pink ward. Campbell Amoeba sitting in this brush here. You do have TPs from the laners up top here. Golden Sunset taking some damage from Stunner here. De-warding coming out from Marshall. So, decent trading coming out of Pilk and Marcos up top. But Marco definitely coming out on the positive end there. Pilk may look to back here before he gets dove under turret. Otacon does spawn bot lane. Dragon will be taken here from Vancouver Impact. Alt is coming up top side. So Scion now here. We do see a 2-man squad of Stunner and Pixel taking on this Otacon. Foe, though, now knowing that this is what's going on. You see Kappachungus now eyeballing Otacon here. Golden Sunset getting a decent trade. Does not have ult, though, to show up bot lane. Campbell, though, de-warding here. Vancouver ends up getting off of the Otacon here. TP coming out of Golden Sunset, and he's actually fairly far away. Though, trigger pulled here from Joker. Pilk also with a pretty insane wall here. Churros on the backside. Now they're jumping on the Churros here. And that's 2 kills from Kappachungus. Pulling the trigger here. Teleport used from Marco. Marco does have 2 items complete, so he does basically one-shot Joker or Pilk here. Campbell Amoeba doing what he can to stop all of this coming out. Oh, blue team! Kappa does end up getting the Otacon. Pixel does end up going out. Marcos ended up ulting. I don't know who he ended up ulted in that whole fight, but that ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of Kappachungus, and they get the Otacon here, which is the biggest of the takes. Otacon gets you all of the blood rose petals, and they also give you catch-up experience. So an insane fight from Kappachungus here. 2 items now completed for Golden Sunset. This Scion is going to be very, very tanky. And I do like the Unending Despair choice coming out here. Ash Arrow does go topside, but will end up missing. Campbell clipping the wall there. Might be the first wall he's hit with a hook. Sorry, bro. But was looking to make a play onto Vancouver here. Making a push on this mid lane. Joker now on 2 items. Campbell missing the hook onto Chiros there. Would have been a massive pick. But we have some abilities getting thrown back out. Golden Sunset pretty tanky overall here. So Golden Sunset will end up falling here. In this counter push, Pilk though using this opportunity to free hit topside, but with Marco though using, oh, he's got Demolish as well. But with that being said, you do have 3 grubs, 4 team members hitting this mid lane turret, and that mid lane tier 2 will go down. Foe potentially getting jumped on here. This gets a, oh, and Joker gets 1 shot there from Stunner. Big Q, I'm sorry, big ult coming out of Campbell there, and he will end up falling. And Pilk, now the solo man left here, as this will be a 24-minute inhib taken by Vancouver Impact. Alright, cool. We kind of caught up to the pause there. I might have had just another quick pause. So, do you see Kappachungus, while they were looking at setting up for this dragon here, they do sneak this tier 1 mid turret, which does help them open up the map. So we do see a potential turn angle. Campbell ends up getting out the hook. Foe in the mix of all of this. Stun comes out for Marco. Stunner though in the backline, and oh my god, Stunner gets off an amazing ult. Joker though trying to do his best. Stunner still ends up falling. Golden Sunset trying to 1v2 the duo of Pixel and Chiros. And Marcos ended up zoning out the other backline here as he ended up ulting Foe and taking them down. So the top laners throwing their weight around in these 2 team fights. So, very, very nice though from Kappachungus to pull the trigger and at least try to make something out of that fight. Pixel is at this point where he's pretty tanky overall, and there's not much stopping Marco once he death realms somebody. So, but overall, looking at this is 14-22, 3 dragons in favor of Vancouver Impact. Gold lead is still sitting at roughly 6K now. So, but with the vision control and positioning, Vancouver Impact will be starting up this Baron here. TP coming out from both top laners. Baron at around 4,500. Marco in the back looking to... He ults Joker here. Joker ends up flashing away. Joker trying to kite, but ends up getting one shot there. Pixelated, though, getting picked on the other side of this. He ends up not falling here. Baron's still not taken. Chiros, though, does take care of Foe. And now this duo of Pilk and Golden Sunset are the only things left for Kappachungus here. I don't think they're going to end up going at... Actually, they have position on the Baron here, because you do have 4 out of 5 up, but you have super minions in the base as well. And it looks like Kappachungus is going to elect to go and save their base here. And that is a Baron going over the Vancouver Impact. So, big team fight, though, getting started here from Kappachungus. Ult does come out. Stunner getting down to half health. Joker trying to do his best here to carve down this big tank called Pixel, but ends up getting one shot. Pilk on the backside, though, outputting a decent amount of damage here, but it's just going to end up being wallet diff for the side of Vancouver. But, man, I gotta compliment, man. Kappachungus taking the good fights that they can take and playing them out mechanically very well. Just really, really nice showing from them. But Vancouver will end up taking this game 1. So, but again, Kappachungus just keeps improving every time. So now that we have a touch of time, we will have a little bit of context. So, when we did design and make this league, we didn't, because we know the elos are fairly wide considered to most leagues. We wanted to make sure that lane swaps and any funny business were not possible. But we did tweak the rule because Riot made duo lanes. You can't duo lane top anymore, so we felt the need to tweak and change that rule. I was operating under the previous iteration of the rule, and so that's why I called for the pause and wanted to double check everything on that. So that was 110% on me. So. So, we are in game two's draft here. Vancouver will end up picking game one. So, Kappachungus, though, electing to go on the red side here. Alright, sorry about that. So, looking at the draft, the bans, for the most part, have not changed. Vancouver be wanting the Lucian here, which is a pretty ballsy pick in my opinion. But if you are very comfortable on it, play it. As we've seen, not Impact, Instinct's bot lane stands out as playing the Lucian very, very well. So Kappachungus responding with the Kaisa and the Cho'Gath here. Vancouver responding with Set, a Mumu Set, a fantastic counter into Cho'Gath because he can ult the big tank back into his team and do a lot of damage. I would probably suspect Cho'Gath will go the AP variant and not get as tanky, because there is a world where he can play more of the poke mage style into Set and try to keep him down. Set, though, does have a very, very good health regen when he is low health here, so it is fairly difficult to poke him out. So we do see the mid lane getting pinched a little bit. Vancouver banning the Silas and the Talon again here. So the Ari coming out for Kappachungus here. So we'll see what Vancouver wants to take here. I would assume it would be a fairly generic mid laner. Oh, the Syndra. Syndra versus Ari. A matchup I haven't seen in a while, but it's been a legacy matchup as both of them have been meta for quite a while. If Syndra gets ahead, then she definitely has burst potential into the Ari. Now, I haven't seen it into the Roa variant of Ari, so I don't know if Syndra has the most burst potential into that specific build, but Ari has very good pick potential, and the Wukong is also a very good setup for the Ari, and a Shaco coming out for Vancouver Impact. So, is this potentially a Shaco support or a Mumu support Shaco jungle? This is quite an interesting wrinkle here for Vancouver. And Alistar, the R5 pick here for Vancouver. So Campbell on the Alistar. I believe it's 2 games in a row they've left support at a fairly high prio pick. So, very, very interesting drafts overall for both teams here.
Arts can shed light on our fears. Only pray, flee.
It's just business.
I assure you, I am quite patient.
So, very interesting. We're going to see where this Shaco goes. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's probably going to go jungle. But now with Alistar being picked here, it could be jungle, a Mumu Shaco support. So, this is going to be curious. And with that, with Pixel locking in the Amumu here, it will in fact be a Shaco support. Quite very, very interesting.
There's always another wave.
You can't cage me for long.
The world is angry.
Pathetic.
And here we go for game 2 of Kappachungus Deluxe versus Vancouver Impact Challenger. So, do see a nice little wrinkle here with Marshall being on the Shaco support here. Golden Sunset on the Cho'Gath into Marco's set here. The set is a really nice counter pick to health tanks in general. So see how this goes. I don't expect I don't expect a lot of 2v2 fighting, just because Churros, like, there's not much that Shaco can do to help Lucian. You know, Lucian really likes enchanters and 2v2 lanes with his passive. So let's see. There's 20 gold going over to Joker here. Looks like we had a short little pause there. Nice little level 1 trade here from Pilk, though he did take a lot of minion damage and a couple of Stunner's Qs here. Level 2 granted for Marshall and Churros. Campbell giving the what's up nod over to Churros there. Nice knockout from Golden Sunset here. Though decent combo coming out of Marco, trading back some damage. Marshall getting comboed here. Electrocute brought out from Pilk on that mid lane trade as well. Oh, Campbell though, all inning. And that's a first blood for Churros over there. See if he gets the second. He gets the double kill on to the bot lane of Vancouver Impact. Golden Sunset trading with Marcos quite well, but the set's health regen is going to be really hard to deal with. So decent trade coming out here for Stunner. Gets the Electrocute off as well on the Pilk. So mid laners both bringing the Electrocute. Golden Sunset getting it back here with the TP. But not chasing Marcos down anymore. Stunner keeping the pressure on the Pilk now. Marshall with an interesting interaction. I didn't know you could Q out of that while knocked up, if you time it correctly. Nice trading again. Campbell being able to set up Joker for not only the W's, but puts some of the Kaisa passive on them too. Foe, though, did walk by a pink ward in that brush there, as he's now getting it. Golden Sunset getting himself a nice little snack in the form of a minion here, so the Cho stacking will commence. Dragon being an early Ocean Drake is pretty big here. Chiro's getting jumped on here again, but flashes and barriers away. Foe, though, in the background. Nice knockup coming out of Campbell and Miva with the flash. Pixel, though, going in, but Campbell with the heal off the passive. Foe walking straight into a box. Nice little combo here from Pilk. Nice stun and knockup coming out. Pixel, though, having the back away. Joker flashing away here to pick up that third kill. And Joker's now a 3-kill Kaisa. Nice trade again coming out from Marco. Definitely controlling this lane quite a bit. Marshall just being an absolute asshole here. And Campbell ends up getting the kill onto Chiros as he stopped his back to pick up this wave, but was unsuccessful. Chiros now 0-2 in this lane. I'm not seeing the synergy here between Lucian and Shaco, but this is not going well for Vancouver Impact at all. Oh my lord, an 8-minute Kraken Slayer for Joker. Campbell, again, giving the headbutt pulverize combo over to Marshall here. Campbell popping the ult here to trade off for Chiros' ult. We do see some CS gaps building here in the top and the mid lane. I mean, top definitely makes the most sense, being that it is a pretty big counter pick overall, but I don't expect it to grow too much now with the Tiamat getting picked up here by Sed. He's going to constantly be pushing that wave in. Marshall getting jumped on there, but ended up queuing away here. As these boxes are not that threatening right now. So, Kappa, though, with this big lead in the bot side here, will end up getting the second dragon here, as Pixel was looking for the steal, but ends up coming up short. Note Joker got the 4th kill onto this. So we do see Pill getting spotted out on the room up here. Stunner, okay, probably was looking to camp the Pixel Brush there, but Pilk ends up pathing away from it. Marshall getting jumped on by Foe and Campbell, but ends up queuing away, so... So, both top laners, though, getting their first items here. You'll see about roughly a 40 CS lead growing there. Mid lane hasn't gotten much worse, but hasn't improved at all. Still about 30 CS lead there. We see Stunner on full boots and Ludens here. Plating will fall. So we see fight here in the bot lane. Joker, though, ends up ulting in, and I'm not sure, did his shield just get melted through there quite heavily? But Shiro's dancing around, and there's a double kill for the bot lane. Shaco did end up getting the shutdown off of Joker here. Pilk, now at this point where he's going to get completely blasted in his lane, Syndra is now going to do so much damage. Golden Sunset now able to stand his own in this lane here. A very quiet game so far. Only 7 kills here. You know, about a 400 gold lead, all things considered, for Vancouver Impact. And that's just coming through mainly the CSing. Oh, a nice gank coming out of Foe here, as he will end up getting the double kill. A nice headbutt away from this clone. So, foe coming down and getting one back here on there. Blue team, though, does end up picking up the Rift Herald, but first turret is going to go over to Kappachungus, and that is the whole feats of strength for them. Golden Sunset up here, brawling with Marcos here, but this set was chomping him down, especially with a boatload of damage there. So some vision control coming out of Marcos here. He does have the full Blackfire torch here, so these Qs and these boxes are going to start ramping up here soon. Nice charm coming out of Stunner, but Pilk will end up getting one shot here from Stunner and some magic damage improvement coming out of Pixel. And that is the first Drake going to Vancouver Impact in the form of this Infernal Drake. Oh, but Pixel jumping into this Rift Trail. There is a box there. We have some posturing here in the mid lane, but that's all I think that's going to happen. There's not the greatest siege coming out of Kappa's comp here. They're definitely more of a pick and transition comp, especially with Joker being pretty fed overall. Otacon does spawn here, but Joker will have to clear this mid wave. So looking at Syndra's splinters here at 21 minutes, she's only got 77 on the splinters. So that is concerning overall. But there hasn't been a lot of fighting in this game here.
Let me get
Do you see Golden Sunset going after Chiros here? And getting backed up here from Marcos, but W comes out. Golden tanks up a majority of this. Chiros, though, had to burn the ult. Dragon is up here. We do see Kappachungus starting it up here. Let's see. Stunner is on the opposite side here. Kappa does have chill ult as well. Campbell procking up everything. Nice ult in. Dragon stolen from Pixel, and the fight ensues here. Joker ends up getting CC'd and ends up dying, and Pilk in the backline trying to ult away and had no charges left, but Blast Cone was there. So big fight for the Vancouver team, as they are now up about 3K on the gold. And that is Otacon over to the side of Vancouver Impact as well. Oh, and now we see Marcos, though, on the double items here with the Black Cleaver, now able to virtually one-shot Golden Sunset here. Campbell, though, getting picked off in the jungle as well, having to burn the ult and flashing away here. So Campbell will end up getting out. And we're starting to see the pressure from this Vancouver Impact squad come alive here, though. I will say, for the most part, everybody is relatively tied on the items. Pilk is a little bit behind here. Looks like he's going after the Leandries, which I don't know how I feel about that. So Stunner is on 2 items, went the straight death cap route. Only has 94 of the splinters, so I feel like he could have went a different second item, maybe the cooldown reduction that we've seen popular, made famous by Nemesis. So Joker, though, almost to his 3rd item. Chiros working towards his IE as well here. So item-wise, we're not too far off here. Just got to see how Kappachungus wants to play these team fights here. Dragon is up here 2 minutes. Campbell, no ult here, getting gunned down from Chiros. and ended up getting taken out by Stunner. Foe diving in, barrier burned by Joker, and he's going to end up burning from Marshall's Q. And that's a double kill from Marshall as he used the flash Q ignite. And this was the crack in the momentum in the game here for Vancouver Impact. They end up getting this mid inhib here. Bounce House attempted onto Chiros. He ends up flashing in between the two knockups here. Oh, nice flash overall. Shutdown coming out for Pilk. And then Joker using the ult to catch up to Chiros. And the shutdown coming out there as well. So, 2 shutdowns going over to Kappachungus. And are they eyeballing the Baron here? Okay. Both damage dealers are taken out. Golden Sunset does have the ult here. Joker is, for the most part, pretty fed. He's on 3 items. Marco getting an ult off to Pilk. Oh, and the feathers! The feathers forced Marco to flash there and get the last auto off. And Marcos will end up, oh my lord, Marcos one-shotting Joker there. I was not expecting that. Wow, okay. We do see the Infernal Drake coming down and getting taken by Vancouver Impact. So now they are on Soul Point here, but Baron over to Kappachungus here. So they do have some decent wave clear and pushback with these Baron minions here. Oh, nice charm coming out of Pilk. Joker ends up ulting in, but goes invisible. Gets out. Clone ends up dying. Marshall, though, in the back line. But Foe ends up taking out Stunner. Marshall does end up taking out Campbell here. Marshall playing the Shaco. Very, very annoying. So Kappachungus putting up a very, very great fight. They are only down by 3K here, so they've grinded out this goal lead down to 3K. Marshall, now that he's on double burn, is got to be the most annoying thing to play against right now. So 3 items on Stunner. He is at full Transcendence stacks. He just needs 1 more here. 7 stacks out for this Cho'Gath. So starting to get pretty tanky here overall. Dragon up in a minute 30, which is soul point here for Vancouver Impact. Joker getting chunked from these boxes here. It's just very hard to operate into any type of choke points or set up any type of dragons. Pressure here. Marco, though, is here. Pilk and Stunner, though, here on the top side of the map. Pilk with the upgraded MR boots, I think, is a nice little touch. He is, though, sitting there. Campbell, though, getting jumped on again. Gets taken out. Golden Sunset is also here. Joker here as well. Oh, but the ult coming out ends up taking out Joker. But Joker's in the other side of it. Ends up flashing the W here. Double kill, though, going on the Chiros on the other side of the fight here. And that ends up being a 4 for none. A very decisive and quick 4 for none for Vancouver Impact. And it looks like they are going to try and end this game. Syndra still has ult as well. Oh, nice Zhonya's from Joker overall. And he ends up getting Falcon Punch there from Marco. And that's going to end up being the ball game here. And a very, very back and forth, competitive, though slow pace game 2. And Vancouver Impact will end up taking this series 2-0 versus Kappachungus. Let me see if I can get potentially a interview. Let me see if we can't get an interview. Stunner's checking with his boys now. Yo, what's up?
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. I was not expecting that. How you been, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Introduce yourself to the stream if you could.
I am VIP Marshall.
Ooh, the support.
Yes, sir.
The one that was clowning around this game too.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
I bet. Trying to be just the biggest annoyance you could be. And you were doing it quite successful, if I may add.
Thank you very much.
So, what was your thoughts on the series overall? Because it looked it looked pretty back and forth.
I mean, yeah, I think first game we just made a lot of sloppy mistakes that we shouldn't have made. Other than that, I think the game went pretty well. Yeah, just a lot of miscommunication. I think either in both games. Yeah, but other than that, I think it was okay. Yeah, we just made like one or two kind of meh errors, and then that kind of cost us like a little bit of our lead. But other than that, I think it was fine.
I know I bet kind of looking at game two, that laning phase though didn't seem like there was much synergy between your guys' champions. I was kind of concerned if they found the right fight that would go south for you guys.
I think it was fine. I think there was a big miscommunication where our jungler was calling that Wukong was top, and then so was our mid. So we were like, okay, we can just like get aggressive here, and then just like keep poking them out, and then Wukong appeared, and then we died, and that was how the first 2 or 3 kills went. But other than that, yeah, I mean, Shaco's support laning phase is kind of not the greatest, and it just kind of just falls on mid-late game is where the champion really shines.
Yeah, they didn't have the hardest of engages, so it's really hard for them to just continuously walk into your boxes once you hit that 2-item spike.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I blind Shaco support, and then he just picked Alistar right after. That was kind of laughing.
Mm-hmm. It's probably not something that they've seen that often. I can tell you it's not been played in the rec league, so they were.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, but I mean, I was impressed overall at how they stood toe to toe. They had a really, really strong early game into coin flip, and it seemed like they doubled down on it into you guys. But definitely a lot of the team fighting, and then advantages just in the mid and top side during the laning phase. You know, kind of snowballed from there. But yeah, you guys pick up your first win of the split. Looking forward, is there any teams or any weeks you're circling?
To be honest, I haven't even looked at it. We just kind of get sent the op.gg like a couple hours before. Then we just take a look and see what's going on.
Fair.
And then we play. That's about it.
Fair enough. I can dig that. So, all right. Well, I will let you go. It is getting kind of late, but I was glad we could get you guys casted. Though I'm not gonna lie, game 2 had a very like it was boring as shit. Let me just not dance around it. Game 2 there in the mid game was pretty boring.
Yeah, I think it's because we made just like a mistake in mid game, and they were like, "All right, let's just chill and let's just Infernal Drake stack, and then we'll just win the game off that."
Yeah, triple Infernal, Death Cap, Max Splinter, Syndra. Just press the bar on somebody and they go burr.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, alrighty. Well, I will let you go. But we got all 5 series casted today, so glad we could get to you guys on the cast again.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, man, congrats on the win. Hopefully this is the start of some positivity going your guys' way, and you make a push for playoffs.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, much love.
Hey, take it easy.
And that was Mr. Marshall with the Shaco support game 2 in the Kappachungus. So really good things coming out of both teams there. I think this is the win Vancouver needed to kind of jumpstart their season. I know they were one of 2 teams to have all their matches go to 3 games, and they were on the losing side of that. But Kappachungus again showing a lot of improvement. I love to see the Rec League champs putting up a fight here, punching up in the Sweat League. But yeah, so. But glad we could get all these games casted. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I know it was a very, very busy day across the server. So we will make sure that all these games get put up on the YouTube channel by Monday, Tuesday, and we'll see